Like I said, all right. For those just joining, like I said earlier, my name is Amen. I'm the programs officer for Strong Women Small Boxes, and I'll be chairing this event for today. I also have our team, which is we have Grace Aremu, our Learning and Development Officer. Um, Miss Grace, welcome. Over to you. Please tell us a little bit about yourself. Miss Grace, are you there? Ms. Leslie, please, can you go ahead? Ms. Leslie is our community manager. If you've been in the group, our WhatsApp community, I'm sure you must have interacted with Ms. Leslie. She's our
Hi,
community manager. So please introduce yourself, Ms. Leslie.
hi. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lacey Wisago. I'm a communications professional. I've worked in the tech space for the past 6 years as a marketing and comms professional. I'm based in Abuja, Nigeria, and I love storytelling, basically. Thank you very much.
That's beautiful, Leslie. Thank you very much. I love storytelling too. Um, okay. I don't think Grace is available right now, so we'll just
Yeah, I'm
move on.
here. Hello.
Okay, all right, great.
Yes, good morning. My name is Grace Aremu. I'm the Learning and Development Officer for Strong Women Small Boxes. And I enjoy designing trainings and educational contents, trainings when it comes to trainings, when it comes to content and self-development. I'm very big on that. Thank you.
All right, it's great to have you here. Then moving on to our CEO and founder, the person of Mrs. Gertrude Charles. Mrs. Gertrude Charles has 13 years experience in tech, travel, sustainability, education. She's also a serial entrepreneur and founder of Astana Travels and Tours. Please go to the chat box and send in your favorite emojis as a welcome our CEO and founder, Ms. Gertrude Charles. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Joko. That was a really nice welcome. Hi, everyone. It's really nice to have everyone here. Just like Nchoko just mentioned, my name is Gertrude Charles. And if you've been to a few of our events, you would know that I say this story everywhere. That Strong Men Small Boxes came about from experience, being an entrepreneur myself, knowing the challenges and the struggles of having to launch and start a small business on your own, especially as a woman, and having these conversations with friends and realizing that we all share the same experiences and knowing that there's something that had to be done about it. So I run a travel business. I hold an MBA from the University of Nottingham. I've had partnerships and projects with international organizations all over the world. And I'm excited to see how we can continue to empower the entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs from Nigeria and generally Africa. Um, so I'm just going to talk a little bit. I know I've said this, but I'm just going to talk a bit more about what we do. So, like we said, Strong Women Small Boxes is here to empower female entrepreneurs. Sub-Saharan Africa has one of the highest number of female entrepreneurs globally, but we still find that a lot of these female entrepreneurs do not have the resources, the skills to compete with their counterparts in other parts of the world. And that's the reason why we're here to fill that gap, to bridge that gap. So what Strong Women Small Boxes does is we offer business coaching services, we offer events and workshops like the one that you're part of right now. We have online resources that you can use to grow your business from templates and all kinds of resources that you can have access to. We also have various accelerator programs that are coming up. So definitely be on the watch out for that. And all of this is just so that we can continue to build a generation of women who are impactful, who are successful, who are thriving in their businesses. Next slide, please. Now, I've said this, our mission is simple. We're here to empower female entrepreneurs by offering skills, training, and the community that you're already a part of so that you can share, you can learn from the experiences of others. You can see what people are doing, you can learn from that, and you can also share with them. And so far, we have been able to impact over 800 women and counting. And that's through events such as this. We've had workshops, we've had various programs, we've had what's it called? We've had a hackathon, a tech hackathon specifically for female and in the tech world, and that had over 200 women in attendance, launching businesses from the start, having their own MVPs and everything at the end of the day within a short period of time. We've had training resources like the one that you can see and so much more coming. And we have a lot more that you should be expecting from us. So I'm just going to leave it right here and just have Nchoko take over. And what I'm just going to say is there's so much from Strong Women Small Boxes that you should be looking forward to. We're here to help you grow. We'll help you to break away from those small boxes that are limiting you, whatever those small boxes are, whether it is lack of skills, lack of mentorship, lack of the resources, or even something as not so much talked about like imposter syndrome. That's the reason why we're here, to help you through that journey of getting there. Thank you so much, Nchoko, for having me. I'm just going to let you take over now.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So a little bit about this event. So if this event is for you, if you're exploring how to successfully transition into technology from a different field, even if it's a career shift, this event is for you. Secondly, if you want to understand the opportunities and challenges of breaking into tech, surely there's going to be challenges and opportunities. So if you want to understand those opportunities and challenges of breaking into tech, this event is for you. So if you're seeking to learn the essential skills needed to make the leap into tech career, if you're considering a career shift and want practical guidance for your next step, or if you're looking to expand your current skill set, that is, you already have some skills, but you just want to expand it, and with tech-focused knowledge. And also, if you're simply curious about it, I just want to get to know a little bit about tech and the possibilities, and want to discover what becoming a techsys could look like for you, this event is for you. So once again, welcome. And for us to have this leap, for us to take this leap, we have someone here to help us. So as usual, please go to the chat box and send in your favorite emojis as we welcome our speaker, Ms. Tosin Dada. Sorry.
I think you're in the wrong tab. Do you want to click on that?
Yes.
But it's okay. I can share my screen, if that's okay. Okay.
Sorry about that, Tosin.
No problem.
Okay.
Oh, it's technology. You can never predict. Okay, give me 1 second. I just go into full screen and start from the beginning. Okay, let me know if you can see my screen that I'm sharing.
Yes, we can see.
Can everyone see my screen? Okay. Thank you for having me. Thank you everyone for joining. We know it's Saturday and we all have, busy lives, because that is when we tend to catch up with, work and all those things that we've left from Monday to Friday. My name is Oluwatosin Dada. I'm a senior business process analyst at DXC Technology, and I'm also a ServiceNow MVP. And I'm going to be talking about breaking into tech without a technical background, as well as letting you understand the technology I work with and how you can actually leverage that, if that is something of interest to you. So 1 second. Just give me a second. I think am I sharing the right screen? Okay. So who am I? I'm Tosin Dada. I'm a ServiceNow MVP, actually the first Nigerian-based ServiceNow MVP and first Nigerian woman to be recognized as a ServiceNow most valuable professional. I have over 13 years of experience bridging business and technology together. I've been an entrepreneur. I'm still an entrepreneur. As you know, as women, we still want to, have something by the side. I've been into real estate. I've been a startup founder. I've also been into, I love clothes, right? So I've been into that aspect of, having like a retail, store, but no longer doing that for now. And currently, as a senior business process analyst at DXC, what I do is I'm delivering ServiceNow, IT service management and IT operations management projects to our customers, especially here in Nigeria. And a fun fact about me, I listen to an insane amount of music daily. Every day, it's like me and my headphones. So you might see me and it's like I'm talking, so I'm not talking, I'm just listening to music. Okay, so that is about me. Now we have 30 minutes for this. Let me just give me a second. Let me set my time. I don't always want to go over the time. Okay. So the myth versus reality. People tell you, you might hear, oh, you need a science degree, computer science degree to succeed in tech. You need to, know how to code, know how to write codes and all those things before you can get into tech. But the reality is there's so many tech skills or tech jobs that you can do that you do not need to code. Now, I divide it into two parts when it comes to tech. You have the functional part, and then you have the technical part. So a functional part, for example, would be somebody who's probably a business analyst, a project manager, or even somebody who is doing something like administrative work, but you're in a tech company or you're having to do something with a technology. You're not technical, but you're able to use it to perform a function. Now, the technical part, these are people who have technical skills. You're talking about maybe your technical BAs, you're talking about your developers, you're talking about your technical consultants, you're talking about your architects, you're talking about those kind of people. So in ServiceNow, we have these people. We have people on the functional side, and we also have people who are on the technical side. For me, the story has been quite different because I had the opportunity to, be in business, right? IT had always been my favorite place. But for some time, I had gone, to the business side. And in 2022, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to pick up this technology and learn it. So I got into a program and they taught us like, how to be developers. But at the same time, that was not really where I wanted to be. Do you understand? So, but I wanted to learn what made that, that technology, what made it tick, so that if I get to where I'm going, it would help me. So currently what I do is I'm more of like a, business analyst to a process analyst. I am able to merge those two together. So we have different, career paths. We have the data analysts in tech. We have the product managers. We have, the project managers that may not even work in tech companies, right? We have a lot of skills that you can harness. We have the virtual, assistants, which is now like on the rise now. We have a lot of skills that as women we can tap into. And because we have some transferable skills, I don't like to say natural instincts, no. We have some transferable skills that we are able to bring into the workplace that some people might not be able to bring that in. So why does this talk matter? Tech is for everyone. We are going into another revolution that if you are not tech savvy, you might find yourself behind. There's the talk of generative AI. We are not going to talk about AI today. There's a talk about AI everywhere. And people are saying things like, oh, AI might take your job and all of that. And I'm always like, AI will not take your job. But somebody who knows how to use AI might take your job, because now we are looking at fast. People are able to work faster. They don't want you to spend 2 weeks analyzing a document when AI can analyze it for you in less than a day, and you can move on to other important tasks. Now, leverage what you have. Transferable skills that you have currently, whatever you're doing, you can be able to transfer that skill in the tech space. Whether you're able to sell, you might be a good tech sales consultant. You might be a good, business development and specialist. And take the first step. You have to be willing to learn a new skill. I don't believe in snake oil, the snake oil adverts that we see when they say learn something in 3 months and then you make 10 digits or whatever digits it is. I don't believe in those things. I believe if you put in the work, ready to learn, the money will come. The job will come as well. Now, what are transferable skills that count? As women, we're good communicators. We're able to tell what we want, right? For example, you might have, you're probably in a situation in a project and, people are not really communicating. As a woman, you can bring them together. Okay, let me know what is going on. You are even able to do better conflict management than, men would. Do you understand? Stakeholder management, you already handle kids, you handle family, you try to, settle beefs and squabbles in different places. This is part of the skills that we bring to the table. Problem-solving skills, critical thinking, documentation. We are able to do a lot of things, even leadership. A lot of women. That is why, this initiative that is called Strong Women, Small Boxes. We already know how women tend to lead when we are in that position to lead. And even when we're not in that position, we are still taking charge. So these are skills that you bring to the table. Now, like I mentioned, AI is here. It's not like it's coming. There is going to be like a boost in workers that will be needed. Now, this is US stats alone, more than 1 million. Now imagine Nigeria. If you have the right skills, you're positioning yourself to be employable. We're looking at AI coming in, and a lot of companies are trying to, whether it's to their chatbots, whether they're using it in, as customer service. AI cannot work on its own. It needs people who need to, make it work. That is why when it comes to when we are doing processes in projects, we are not thinking about the technology that you're coming with alone. We're thinking about the people, we're thinking about the process, because that is the only way whatever you implement can work. Now, there are different career pathways. We have the business analyst, like I've mentioned. These are people who translate, the needs of the clients, the requirements. You create the user stories. You ensure that, it's testable. We have the pre-sales and the solutions consultants. These are people who show value to customers. You're able to sell the product, to sell the tool. We have the project and the product managers leading delivery outcomes. We have the change and adoption managers who are helping people to embrace new tools. For example, I think somebody mentioned that they love training and, all that. That is actually a skill, because I currently, in my role, I have to train users. So when we implement, apart from, you've done the requirements, you've done the elicitation, you've done, the devs have worked on the stories, you've tested it. You now have to go in and train the users, because if you don't train them, they've just wasted money. There's not going to be a return on the investment. So there are different skills that we currently hold that we can bring into tech. It doesn't have to be ServiceNow, like I'm going to explain to you. It can be any technology. It can be any job that has, need for people who can, do certain things. There are people who are very skilled at, creating training plans, that when they create those training plans, it helps users to want to use the tool better than when you just implement a project, a product, and you're gone. And then it's like, so how do we use it? So what is ServiceNow? ServiceNow is a cloud platform, an enterprise cloud platform that digitizes workflows. So for example, when you have an organization where you have a lot of tasks that are repetitive, you do the same thing over and over again. With a technology like ServiceNow, you can automate those processes so that, let me use an example, an analogy. For example, maybe a Nigerian company, government parastatal. You will notice that we use a lot of paper because somebody needs to sign something, you need to take somebody's desk. Maybe you're trying to register your land. You need to take it from one person's desk to another person's desk to one PAMSEC to one person just to sign it off. With something like ServiceNow, because this is something that happens every day, there is a large volume of, people who are trying to register their land. You can have ServiceNow implemented, and these things can be automated. People do not have to come physically to the office. They can fill a form, and the form then will be routed to the right department. When the right department reviews it, the system can send it to whoever is supposed to approve it. Once that person approves it, it's then sent to whoever needs to, go over it again. After that, you can attach a certificate and send it to the person. They do not need to come in. And there are different modules that we have in ServiceNow. We have ITSM. We have ITSM, that is the IT service management. This is more of internal. So this is for your internal users. The company can implement that for their internal users to be able to have, if you have issues with IT, maybe there's an issue with your computer, you cannot log in, you can create an issue or an incident. You can, we have the change management process, we have the problem management, we have requests where users can request for items, maybe a new laptop, maybe they want to request for a meeting space, those kind of things. We have the customer service management, that is external, which means someone like MTN now. MTN can have ServiceNow. It means you as a customer, when you have issues with your SIM card, you can create and, just fill a form. Somebody gets it automatically because you said SIM card. Probably that is the department that is working with people, SIM card issues. They immediately receive it. And there's an SLA, which is like a service level agreement, which they know, okay, in 2 hours, we need to provide service to this person. And we also have HR service delivery, we have SecOps, we have IT asset management. This gives you an overview to your estate of assets that a company has. So for example, you work in a company and you all have devices. Maybe it's a 50 people company. Yes, it's possible to be able to keep track of that on a spreadsheet. But now you're talking about, say, something like MTN with hundreds or thousands of employees. It's not possible for you to keep accurate data in a spreadsheet for that. So now, some of these roles, you do not need to know how to code. You do not have to know how to code, except you want to be a developer. Some people have interest in wanting to be developers. I mean, I did that some years ago when I decided I wanted to learn how, the tool ServiceNow was. And I went to the technical part and was, a dev kind of at a point before I became a technical consultant and now a business process analyst. So you don't have to know how to code. For people who are like administrators, you necessarily don't have to code because most of what you do is to admin the platform. You have help desk support as well, service desk support. We have the business analysts, we have the consultants. These are the people that actually implement, this technology and software. We also have project managers who handle the life cycle of the entire project. So why ServiceNow? I always like to talk about ServiceNow. So I'm trying to, not to talk too much about it, but I have to, because I feel a lot of women need to key into ServiceNow. There is, even globally, there isn't many of us. And why ServiceNow? It's low code, no code. So it means there's a lot of things, even as a developer, that you do not have to code to do. We always push for less customization, more configuration when we're in projects. This is so that you do not put code into where you don't need to put code in. There's a lot of drag and drop. There's a lot of workflows. There's a lot of things that you can do with ServiceNow that you do not have to code. ServiceNow is also a process first, approach. It means that you look at the workflows, look at the work, you look at, okay, how is this thing currently done? Can we replicate this using a flow? Can we automate this so that you don't have to keep doing it in a manual way and losing, a lot of time and effort? And we have the functional and strategic roles that don't require deep technical coding, which I've mentioned, the BAs, you have the product managers, the PMs, have the lot of growing demand for talent worldwide. So there is a need for talent in ServiceNow. While the adoption is not very great right now in Africa or in Nigeria, we were starting to see a change, and we're starting to trying to let people know it's good to have that skill so that you can leverage it. And the beauty of it is when you learn something like a technology or a platform like ServiceNow, you do not necessarily have to work in that ecosystem. Some people might be able to get, a job in a different technology or platform or area just because they have that know-how of how that tool works. So where do your non-technical backgrounds fit? We have the business analysts, like I've mentioned. We have the project managers. We have the who are like implementing ServiceNow. We have the change management process consultants. We have the ServiceNow admins. We have the trainers. We have the community leaders, and we have the advocates who are advocating for developers, advocating for the community as well. Now, there are different learning paths. There is, ServiceNow has been, kind enough to have like we call it the ServiceNow University. So when you go to the ServiceNow University, I will show you as well, how to get there to access it. You're going to find a lot of courses that are free. Recently, in the last, I think that was in February of this year, ServiceNow opened the courses. Before, when I started ServiceNow, some of those courses were as much as, $700, $800, $1,200, $2,800. And then you still had to get the voucher for your exam. Those were like standard. But right now, ServiceNow has opened up those courses and they're free for everyone. So if it is something you would like to pursue, I would say take advantage of it now. We don't know when they're going to close it, but for now, it's open to all. If you're interested, you can get a personal developer instance. This is a replica of what you will use, and maybe when you're on the job, you can have a personal one. You can try to work, create stuff, learn about it. You engage with the community. We have a network. We have the ServiceNow Africa community. We have the ServiceNow Nigeria community. And then you upskill gradually. Target certifications like the CSA, which everyone has to have. It's like the foundational certificate for everyone, which is the main line. That's the CSA. And then you can decide to say, okay, I want to stay in ITSM. This is going to be my bread and butter. I want to be in ITOM, which is IT operations management. This is going to be my bread and butter. You can be anywhere. Now, we have different learning paths. I've mentioned we have ServiceNow admins, we have the support specialists, we have the change adoption support specialists, we have our application developers, we have implementer, we have business process analysts. Now, these are some of the roles or career paths that we have. And it's transferable. Whether you're a data analyst, you can find your place in ServiceNow. Whether you're someone who's in maybe a customer service, you can find your place in ServiceNow. You can find a lot of skills that you can, transfer into it. That is the beauty of ServiceNow. Now we have the system admin. You are responsible for the platform for your company, to set it up, create your groups, create your users. Maybe somebody has issues logging in. As a system admin, you have the rights to go in and try to impersonate them, see what issues they're having, and then it's good to have an idea of ITIL. I don't, some people would say you should have your ITIL to work in ServiceNow. I don't, because I don't have the ITIL certification, but I studied the ITIL sources. So I know how we're able to leverage that using ServiceNow as a tool. You can have the Scrum Master skill. Then you need the CSA. The CSA is your foot in the door set, like I call it. You need it. So if you're lucky enough to find an organization on the customer side, so let me explain this briefly. In the ecosystem, we have the partner side and we have the customer side. The partner side there are companies that ServiceNow itself is using to implement ServiceNow for the customers. Now, on the customer side, certifications are not mandatory, But because you know how to use the tool, if you apply to, say, there are a few companies that use ServiceNow. We have MTN, we have IHM, we have Sterling Bank, I think we have Zenith. We have a few companies that are using ServiceNow currently in Nigeria. We have NNPC as well. Now, if you find yourself trying to find maybe an IT admin job or IT support job or something, but you have that skill and they see you know ServiceNow, because these companies use ServiceNow, it actually gives you an advantage over somebody who has never heard of it, who doesn't know how to use it. But because you've had that pre-idea of the tool, you are able to use it and you have more, leverage. I had an instance of somebody who joined, she joined the community and she was learning about ServiceNow, and she didn't get a ServiceNow job per se, but because she went into an interview and it was on her CV that she knew ServiceNow and she had done a few things like, helping with trainings and all of that. And that kind of took the conversation a different way, because the person who was interviewing her was intrigued that ServiceNow, and that was how she got the job. So there are some skills that once you know about them, even if you're not in that ecosystem or in that field, it actually helps you because it shows them that you're able to open your mind and actually gain knowledge, even for something that it might not really be what they want you to do. I've talked about being an application developer. You're responsible for solving customer problems. You're responsible for, this role usually requires that you understand scripting. So there is a particular certification for people who are in this particular field in ServiceNow or career path. We also have the business process analyst. So this is what I do currently. So you are part of people, who organize, documents and the document processes of your clients. There's a project, you go in, you understand what their current process is, you hold workshops. This is the role that if you're someone who enjoys talking to people and meeting people, you would find yourself, enjoying the role. You meet with a lot of stakeholders, you get the requirements, you create the plans, you do the UAT, you conduct UAT testing as well. And you can actually, this is a skill that I feel a lot of people who have maybe data analytics background, BA backgrounds, really thrive in ServiceNow. Now we have the support specialist. You are probably level 1. These are people that when your users call, you're able to help them to triage issues and tell them, okay, they say, I can't log in. You try to ask them, okay, have you done this? Have you tried this way? Have you tried that way? If you are unable to, resolve it, you escalate it to the next level or to the application support for that particular application. And we have the change adoption specialist. Now, these are people that they ensure that when they are on both sides, you can find them on the side of where we are implementing ServiceNow and on the side of where we have customers who we are implementing for. And both teams usually work together because as much as you're trying to make sure that people are using the tool, they are also trying to ensure that their users are receptive enough to actually use the tool. So this is the kind of role that some people who enjoy trainings, because sometimes they have to schedule trainings, they have to plan trainings. If they see that there is a particular, maybe a particular department is not really embracing the tool, the adoption is slow, they might ask, okay, let's get more training done. Let's communicate with the users. Let's ensure that everybody is understanding that this is not supposed to take your job. Because sometimes when you implement, a tool like ServiceNow, the first people who are worried about it is your service desk. Because in their mind, they're like, oh, people will not be calling us to ask us for problem to help them again. They'll just be logging tickets and it's going to the right group. No. Because sometimes before it gets to L2, who are like probably above L1, somebody needs to take a look at that request, at that ticket. Somebody needs to put in correct information so that whoever wants to fix it or try to create a solution for that issue has all the information. So it's not like the tool is here to take your job, because a lot of people are always scared of tech, like, tech will take our jobs. Tech is not going to take your job. But at the same time, you have to upskill to be able to match it. Now we have the implementers. These are people who help, they look at the technical needs, they implement the application itself for your company. They are usually on the partner side. You're not going to find them on the customer side. And then we have the technical project managers. Now, this is a little cliche. You can actually not be a technical project manager and still be a project manager in ServiceNow ecosystem. You understand the life cycle of how a project should go, how a software should be implemented, whether you're using the agile mode, you're using the waterfall, you're using whatever hybrid mode or frameworks. You are the person who kind of holds everything together. You're leading, you're saying, you're making sure that all the risks are evaluated. You're making sure that all the blockers are being removed. You do not have to be technical, but it's actually important and it's good to understand the tool. And why I say this is, for me, being able to go into the technical part of ServiceNow when I started has actually helped me as a business process analyst, because I'm able to, when I want to create a story, when I want to gather requirements, I'm able to understand if they don't know how to explain what they are looking at or what they're looking for. I'm able to prompt them in the right direction because I know the tool, I know what it can do, and I know the capabilities. And it helps me to be able to structure those stories to ensure that my devs understand what they need to do. And there's fewer rewrites or, changing of requirements. Now, there might be challenges that you will tell yourself, well, I'm not technical. I've seen people who have come from nursing into ServiceNow, that their background for the last 8 years was nursing, and they're doing well in the ecosystem. You have to be ready to take the leap. It doesn't have to be, it can be, you want to be a data analyst, you want to be a cybersecurity. Even if you're a cybersecurity specialist, there is that spot in ServiceNow. Even if you're, in retail, there is that spot. So if you look at it, you can start from anywhere. You can start, I always say this, it's a little cliche, I heard it was, you can do great things from a small place. Because my story was, I was told categorically, like, you have to leave Nigeria to actually get a ServiceNow job. And I didn't want to work with a customer, right? I had, some more jobs and all of that, but I wanted something that was on the partner side. I wanted more project work because when you're on the partner side, you're doing different projects in different modules. And, when that person told me that, I was like, you don't know who you're talking to. And that was when I started to double down. I started to network. I started to be visible. I started to do the work. And I was saying, I would always be rooting for women because women are doing a lot, even though there's not a lot of us in tech, but we're doing a lot. And I approached a particular woman. She's called Rasha Mosi. She owns a ServiceNow partnership in Canada. And it was a huge leap. But when I spoke to her and I said, I just want to be on the partner side because I want to be able to do different projects. And there were a lot of, things around it then, but she was open to it. And she said, okay, the first thing is you're going to come in under the internship. And I'm like, fine. I was the first intern in that company. And from there, within a few months, I had started to be involved in projects. I was actually I was even at a point leading the internship. So I no longer was there. I was now the one coordinating that internship. I was the one training developers. And I must have trained over 80 people. And I'm sure like 60% of them were like Nigerians because our people, yeah. And I had to create that spot and make sure that there were people that were benefiting from it, including women. And this woman was very, she was influential in my journey, even right now that I'm now with DXC. And we've stayed connected ever since. So as a woman, it's important for you to create that network for yourself. Do not learn in isolation. Do not feel I can do it by myself if I just take time. It will work, but it will take a long time. I have an amazing mentor. You should get yourself a mentor and a sponsor. I have an amazing mentor. She's South African, Georgie, amazing woman. I have a sponsor, Rachel, my company currently where I work. These are people who mention your names in rooms that you're not in. So it's important that you do that work, you network, you have the community, strong women, small boxes, network with women. Don't do things in isolation as well. So these are part of the things that has helped me as a person. And don't be afraid to start small. A lot of people feel, I mean, I was coming with years of experience. Do you understand? And to somebody else, they'll be like, why would I go in there and take, an internship? Do you understand? But this was something that I knew I wanted to learn on that side of things. And that has really helped me because I was able to learn some stuff. You have to be ready to learn, be teachable. You might find out, somebody, if you're like, this person, how many years of experience do they even have gone? You understand? But at the same time, you might learn from people. I'm always in different trainings because I'm learning from everyone, whether it's applicable. Sometimes it's not applicable. I'm just sitting there doing my work and just listening into what they're saying. So some resources for breaking, and you're going to get this slide. I think I've provided this slide as well. If I need to send this one, I can also send it as well to the team. Some resources, the online platform, the ServiceNow University, we have the ServiceNow community, the developer portal. We have meetups that we organize randomly. The last one we had was in Lagos on 16th of August. I think we have another one in December, which is just going to be an hangout. Sorry, 1 second. I think my time is up. So let me just rush through that. So the key takeaways would be tech welcomes your non-technical talent. If you want to be in ServiceNow, it's about the process, the people, and the platform. And your background is not a barrier. Where you are as a Nigerian, English is our first, official language. It actually helps. If people can actually, take jobs to India, why not Nigeria? If people in Europe, companies in America can take jobs in India, why not Nigeria? So you can start small as long as you put in the work and you leverage community support. You'll be on your way. You can seek a mentor, seek a sponsor, to ensure that you have the right skills, communications, collaborations, and critical thinking as well. So my name is Tosin Dada. Once again, if you'd like to connect with me, I'm on LinkedIn at Tosin Dada. And that'll be all from me. And before I go, let me see if I can take you briefly to how you can start with ServiceNow. 1 second. Okay, let me see. 1 second. Give me a second. I'll share my screen again. Let me know when you can see my screen. Okay, I'm guessing everyone can see my screen. So here you go to ServiceNow. You click here. And then when you log in, because I've logged in already, you have to create an account. So if I log out, let me sign out. So when you search for ServiceNow University or Now Learning, it brings you here. And here you find our global ambassador, Idris Elba. And then you go to Start Learning. So when you go to Start Learning, you create an account and it lets you register. So when you register, let me sign in. Second. Just give me a second to log in. So it sends you a code to log in. 6. It's a different code each time. And now you're logged in.
Hi, sorry, Tosin. I think someone is
Yes.
saying they cannot see your screen. Is everyone
Oh,
able to
they
see the
cannot?
screen? Yes, I think it's just one person, but I just want to be sure.
Or
Is
can
everyone
you
able
see
to
my
see the
screen?
screen? If you can, please
I
just
can see the
use an
screen. I can see
emoji.
the screen.
Okay.
Okay. Nena, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, you might have to log out and log
Yes.
back in.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So you will see this home page, but here is where we're going to. So if you go here to My Learning, it will take you to, let me just open this in a different page. So My Learning would take you through, you have the points, you have the point system, all the courses that you've had, whether in progress or you've completed. And please ignore, I spend a lot of unhealthy amount of time in ServiceNow University. So you don't have to have all these numbers, please, when you're starting. So I go to career journeys if I'm somebody who is new. Here, I'm going to see a list of different careers. You're going to see the average US salary for them. If I decide I want to become a project manager, I go here. And here it's going to take me through different levels. So we have the associate, we have the practitioner, and we have the professional. So let me just show you the associate. It means you're just starting, you don't know much about it. It's going to take you through a list of, we call this the honeycombs, through a list of courses, articles, a lot of things, just to give you an idea of what it looks like and how you can be an associate project manager in ServiceNow. If you go through the practitioner, the same. If you go to professional, the same. It's a lot of hours, right? So don't spend the whole day taking the courses. You should pace yourself as well. And from here, you're going to be able to see a lot of courses. If you want, you can go here and search for courses. Let me go to home. So for example, it's recommended that everyone who wants to start out with ServiceNow must take the Welcome to ServiceNow course. So I go to Welcome. So you take the Welcome to ServiceNow course. Give it a second to load. And the micro certification. So this is the start for anyone who is, thinking about exploring the technology tool and the technology itself. Here, it's just going to take you through a few things. It will take you through what it is to navigate, the modules, the forms, the tasks. Here they're going to give you an instance. An instance is like it's a sandbox where you can play in, but it's timed because it's for the ones in the Now Learning. If you want one that is going to be your own, that is not timed, that one would not have the demo data that you need, the data to complete the task. If it's a simulation, but you can actually practice in it. For those ones, you go to the ServiceNow developer site. So you go to the ServiceNow developer site, you come here, you register for one, but you have to realize that you have to log in every 10 days because they reclaim it after 10 days. So you come here, you sign in, or you get one and you start building. So that is just a brief of, if you're trying to get into that space. So just to cap it all, there is a lot of opportunities for us as women in tech. And I hope that some of us would find some, you now have an idea. If you want to pick a platform, if you want to pick a technology, you can pick, there can be Microsoft, it can be you trying to be a functional, 365 consultant or anything you want to be, but there is possibility. All right, and that would be all from me. Thank you, everyone. Let me stop sharing my screen. Am I still sharing? Okay, 1 second. Okay, I think I'm no longer sharing.
No, you're not.
Okay, all right.
Thank you
Thank you.
very much. Thank you. A huge thank you to you, Mr. Sidaka. It was a very insightful event and program because of you, and we're grateful. I'm sure the participants enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank you very much to the participants too, who contributed to this event and made sure it was run smoothly. Okay, so questions. I think I'm seeing one question here. Um, okay, please, are these courses and certificates free? From
Okay,
Miss
so okay.
Oluwadamilola.
All right, Damlala. So the courses are free now. They've been open since February of this year. They're free. But to get certified in ServiceNow, the micro certifications are also free. But when you finish like you want to be a ServiceNow administrator, a certified one, for example, like you have, the certified Scrum Master. To be a certified Scrum Master, you have to, do the exams and you have to pay for it. That's the same way it is in ServiceNow. So to be a certified system admin, you have to take the certification, and it's $300 for that certification. But the course itself, they were kind of pricey before. You had the courses going for $800, $1,000. They're all free for everyone now.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope that answers your question, Ms. Oluwadamilola. The next question is, as a BA, what aspects can I take up in ServiceNow?
Awesome. Okay, so as somebody with VA experience, talking about a virtual assistant, I would say because you have that customer facing skill, you can look at maybe a part like the business process analyst, because when you have those kind of career paths, you're able to talk to people. They're able to put you in front of customers, because there are some roles like developers, you're not meeting the customers at all. You're just in the background. These are for people who don't really like to talk to people. But if you're someone who finds it easy, right, to talk to people, you're dealing with clients, you can be in the sales role, you can be in the BA role as well.
Thank you very much. Love it. Does that answer your question? Okay, Oluwadamilola, you're asking the same question again. You replies, all right. Okay, here is from Joanne. This is from Joanne. As an accountant, which one can I go into?
So in ServiceNow, we have a particular module called the Financial Services Operations, the FSO. But you need to have a background of the platform itself. So you are like, everybody starts from take the microsets, and then you get the CSA, which is the ServiceNow admin. Now, the admin is not very technical, but it just shows that you understand the platform. So you understand. So what this does is that it gives you a background of the tool. But some people, if you're not going to be implementing ServiceNow, you don't want to be on the project side, you want to work with a company that uses ServiceNow, even as an accountant, I would say do the microset, do the fundamentals for the CSA. Don't take the CSA, you don't have to. And then go and learn about the financial service operations in ServiceNow. That will actually help you to know, in case you find a company that, they're using that part of ServiceNow for, their financial services. You have that skill. But if you want to actually get your foot in the door, and probably for the international jobs, you have to be looking at getting certified. You have to get certified, because most of the jobs, currently I work with DXC, which is a Fortune 500 company. You need certificates, right? You have to be certified before they can actually, look at, okay, we have somebody who has the skill here.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm from Nena. As someone who plans to go into products and project management, which of the course can I take?
You can take the career path for project management. And if you'll see that when I showed you the honeycombs, it actually takes you through different courses, right? It will take you through the Welcome to ServiceNow, like it takes everyone through. It will also take you through the CSA course as well. So it will take you through that path because even as a project manager, understanding the tool, we have a resource called the Now Create. So in ServiceNow, with Now Create, when you're a project manager, you have a lot of resources available to you, a lot of templates that can help you, even as a BA, even as somebody who is going in there to talk to customers. There's a lot of templates that ServiceNow has provided. So if you want to be in the project management, or products part of it, you have to learn the tool to know the capabilities first.
Okay, thank you. She did mention that she has a background in education, a BSc in education. Is that a problem or?
No, like I said, I know people who did nursing and are in ServiceNow. I know someone who was a chef and is now in ServiceNow. So
Okay,
this is why sometimes recruiters will hammer on certifications. Sometimes they're looking at the fact that you know the tool, have the experience. It's not really about whether you have a degree in computer science. No.
all right. So Lovett says, please to be clear, to get a job at ServiceNow, we must get the certificate that's $300, right? Or we can get a job without the main certification.
Okay, let me explain something. ServiceNow is a technology. It's a global company, right? We're not saying get a job at ServiceNow. It's an ecosystem. And when we say an ecosystem, you have, like I explained, the partners and you have the customers. Everybody's within that ecosystem. To get a job in the ecosystem, there is a lot of people there. So you have to set yourself apart. If you want to get in to actually have, to catch the eye of an actual recruiter or a company that is in ServiceNow, who is a partner or a customer, it will be beneficial to be certified. But at the same time, knowing the tool can also help you outside of the platform because we have different technologies that are similar. We have Charwell, we have Service Desk, we have, I think we have Freshservice, we have BMC Remedy. They are all similar tools. So knowing that can actually help you. So it's not like get the CSC and get a job. No, it's not. It's not going to work like that. But it's a thing that when you apply yourself, you have a roadmap. Do you understand? You are able to, put yourself forward, you network. Do you understand? So it's something that you have to be ready to it's time consuming. Like I always tell people, I say, with ServiceNow, if you're someone who doesn't like to learn, it's not going to really be for you. Because even as somebody who has been in the ecosystem for years now, I still have to take exams. I still have to, go through documentations just to keep myself refreshed because the platform is changing every 6 months. We're having updates coming in. And if you miss 4 updates, you're already old school. Do you understand? So you have to continue to learn. I hope that answered your question, Lovett.
All right. So we'll take two more questions. Thank you. From Rejoice. Rejoice is saying it's not concerning ServiceNow, but I want to ask Ms. Tosin. I am currently learning data analysis. Please, what advice can you give me on how to navigate being new to data analysis and what to do when I'm done with it?
So before I joined, ServiceNow proper, the ecosystem proper, I was actually into the data analytics space briefly. So what I would say is, as much as you're learning, start to work on projects. There are some particular, I don't know the websites anymore, but there are some websites that you can volunteer, right? To, be a data analyst on a project. Try to look for those, have them in your CV. Network, build in the open. That's one thing I always tell people to do. If you're on LinkedIn, LinkedIn is, as much as we all say LinkedIn is tiring, there's so much, postulations there. LinkedIn is actually where you should build in the open, because you never know who is on your feed and looking at you, and they see a particular, visualization that you did, and they're like, I love how this person interpreted this data. So build in the open, learn more, look at places like Data Camp, try to join, projects. There's some projects, where, they can say, okay, let's, look at this data and let each person have their own interpretation of it. That would also help you. So once you're done with that, continue to build products and apply. You never know where your skills are needed.
All right, thank you very much. So the last question from Ifoma, as a novice in the tech background, which of those courses would you recommend?
So if you don't have any technical background, what I would say is start with learning the platform, right? But if you don't want to go straight into ServiceNow, you can first pick up something like learn how to be a business analyst. This is something that you don't need to know how to code. You just need to understand how to, get requirements, elicitate them, write the user stories, ensure that the requirements match, a little bit of, user acceptance testing. Try to find something like that outside of the platform. Try to learn that skill, and then you now pick up ServiceNow as a tool. I sometimes advise that you can first learn something outside of the platform, and then you pick that platform as a tool. So it means, for example, if I'm a project manager, I've done my PMP, do you understand? And I now decide, okay, I want to learn about ServiceNow. I go through the technical project manager path, right? Now I understand the tool that is ServiceNow. I'm certified, I know projects. I can actually speak to it if they're looking for a project manager, and I'm like, yes, I'm a project manager. I know ServiceNow. Probably I got my CSA. It actually puts me in a better light than somebody who doesn't have the PMP but has done a lot of project management and doesn't know anything about ServiceNow. When two of us start, they're evaluating our resumes. Do you understand? So they're saying this person might not have worked on a ServiceNow project, but they have an idea of what the tool is like. So if their developers are giving them, because sometimes, you might have people who tell you, oh, these requirements will take 3 weeks. Meanwhile, you understand how it is, right? It shouldn't take more than a week. You can call them and say, this thing shouldn't take more than a week. Okay, max, I'll give you 7 days. Figure it out. Do you understand?
Thank you very much. Ifoma, I hope that answers your question. Okay, that's it. There are no more questions here. So thank you very much, Ms. Tosin.
You're
We're
welcome. Thank you
very
for having
grateful.
me.
Thank you very much. Yes. So for our participants, if you are yet to join our community, our WhatsApp community, the link is here in the chat. So you can just click on the link and then it will take you straight to the community and you can join it. That is it. So there are lots of thank you here.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Yes.
having me.
All right. So over to Mrs. Gertrude Charles, please.
Hi, thank you so much, Tosin. I'm pretty sure that I am not alone, but I just want to confirm if anyone else feel like they've gotten more clarity, if they feel like they really enjoyed the session, can you just use the buttons or the chat. Let me know in the chat if this was really good for you, if you enjoyed it. Let me see a thumbs up, let me see a like or something. And I want people to actually say thank you to Tosin for just sharing her time, her experience, and just generally just being supportive to the entire community. Thank you so much, Tosin. It was,
you.
I mean, I'm thinking maybe I should actually go into ServiceNow at the
We
end
would
of
we would love to have you there. I would say the more the merrier, more people, please.
It was really, really good. And now actually do have a couple of questions. Lots of chats, lots of engagements. So that means everyone felt as interested and had a lot of clarity as me. I do have question, and I'm sure that this is on the minds of everyone else, and they probably are too shy to ask it. A few questions, but I'm going to merge two together so you could answer those two.
Okay.
First is money. Now, I understand from what you shared that a person can take the courses for free, but they would need to pay to have the certificate to say, yes, you're certified in this field or in that field or in ServiceNow generally and all of that. Now, my first question would be this. Can I take the course, have the skill, and still get a job if I do not have the money and then save from that to be able to get certified? Can I still get a job in whatever field I'm interested in after taking the courses while I try to raise the money to be formally certified?
Yes,
Yes, go ahead.
it's doable. I know people who have tried that, but they are not a lot of them, but it's possible. So that is why I explained that there are two sides in the ecosystem. If you're trying to be on a customer side, maybe a customer that has been the ServiceNow has been implemented for them, and you want to work with them, you don't necessarily need the sets, but having an idea of the platform is actually useful. You can get a job.
Okay. I mean, I think the reason why I asked that is because I do not want anyone to feel left out, sort of, if they feel like they cannot at the moment
At the
afford
moment.
to get the certification. So you can just go ahead and take the courses, and while you're taking it, while you're progressing, you can be saving, or you can even apply for internships, apply for
Yeah.
opportunities that allow you to raise the money to be able to pay for the certification at the end of the day. Now, my next question will be this: what does the opportunities look like generally for people who have this experience, who are certified in Nigeria globally? Like, how would they say, I'm done with the course, I've gotten the certification, I have the experience. How do they then navigate the next step to say, let me use this in paving my path forward?
Okay, so for one, I work in Nigeria, and I know a few people who work with companies that use ServiceNow. I am on the partner side. So I work with a partner company, and what we're doing is we're implementing ServiceNow, currently implementing ServiceNow for a government, agency, a startup here in Nigeria. And I would say when you're certified, it actually puts you in the line of sight, right, of the companies, of the recruiters, because it's kind of like a validation that, okay, this person knows the tool. Certification doesn't necessarily mean you're good, right? But it just means you know the theoretical part, you've been able to take the exam and you've passed. So it means if I ask you about, okay, what would you say is an incident, right? You can explain it to me. Do you understand? But at the same time, if you're in Nigeria, so here's an example. I think a few weeks ago, I think it's been months now, MTN reached out to the community. They reached out to me and they're like, oh, we had a job and all of that. And we actually put somebody from the community forward and they started him on 2.5. And this is
That's
somebody who,
2.5 million per month.
yes, per month.
Okay.
And it's actually not senior. It's a junior role because it's a niche technology. So unlike something like Microsoft, yes, we know there's everybody, you can SAP, there's a lot of professionals now. Because ServiceNow is doing something quite different from what we know for service management. A lot of companies are starting to like, okay, wow, okay, this tool can do this, can do that. We're seeing adoption kind of grow right now in Nigeria. Like I said, it's not where it should be, but it's growing, especially in Africa. They're seeing the value. I don't want to put numbers out there,
Please, we
but
want to hear numbers. We love numbers. Let's hear numbers. Numbers get us excited.
I don't want to put numbers out there, but I would say you can get a comfortable senior role that can be paying you a gross of, say, 6 to 7 a month.
67 million per month.
Yes.
Are you
If
serious?
you're working
I mean,
with
is
a
anyone
partner.
else excited? Are you people hearing numbers? This is exciting.
So I'm just saying, it depends on your negotiating skills. And that's why I'm saying certification is important. For one, I think I just took my 7th certification last week. So you have to continue because I don't know how it's set up because we've been complaining that, okay, this is too much. You need to, let the reins little loser, but you have to keep developing yourself so that you put yourself right there in the market. You can't just take your CS and just sit. Because if I did that, I know there was a point in my career path that I was like, I just took my CSA, I took my CIS ITSM and my CSM, and I was like, well, those three are fine. I cannot come and kill myself. And I had this particular friend that we co-host, his name is Emeka, we co-host the meetup together with another person called Michael. He was like, I'm going to harass you every single day until you start to take your certifications. And because I was working for a partner, it was half off for me. So that's the beauty of it. When you work with a partner, certifications are half off or free. My former employer was half. So I pay half and they reimburse me that half when I'm done with the exam.
Oh, nice.
But my current company, because they're an elite global partner in the ecosystem, I don't pay for anything. So I just go in there, finish the course and take the voucher and just go and do my exam.
Okay.
So every morning, this is why it's good to have accountability partners. Every day you'll be like, you have to do your exams. And I'm like, I have 4 exams in my roadmap. You're like, you will do it. And in 6 months, I did all 4. And I was looking at myself like, it was a lot. Do you understand? But that paid off for me because I was able to push myself to study, even though I had work to do and to take this exam. And that actually helped me in getting the role that I'm in now. Do you understand? So you have to be ready to push yourself because it's an ecosystem that, because it's niche, a lot of people are starting to look at it like there isn't a lot of people in here. I mean, it's a fairly large one. Globally, I think we're about close to 1 million professionals right now, including customer side, if not more than 1 million. So, but in Africa and in Nigeria, there isn't a lot of people. They are still looking for talents. And most people, I would say, if you have skills from wherever you're coming, look at it, sit down, create a roadmap. How can this skill transfer? I'm somebody, sometimes I talk a lot. Sometimes I'm just quiet. So I'm an ambivert. So sometimes I'm in those client engagements and I'm doing my talking. I go on site and, we're gisting and all of that. And it kind of creates a rapport with your clients. They're like, oh, we like this person. And then when it's time to get down to business, I'm just replying your emails. I'm not doing long talks and I'm just doing my work. Do you understand? So there is, for people who are quiet, they might be better as developers because, developers, their own is just to get the task, the story, and go and implement. They don't want to talk to clients. You understand? So, and for people like technical consultants, these are people who are like both developers and they are both, consultants. They are technical. They can do stuff in the system and they can actually speak to clients. So we put them on call sometimes, like, okay, in a showcase or a demo, they would be there. They can explain, okay, this is what we've implemented. This is what we're doing. This is what we're going to do. This is what we need from you. Do you understand? So there is a lot. I mean, we're seeing some kind of growth that will be coming in Africa, especially. And I always tell people, when we're in Nigeria, intend to jackpot. Having that skill is actually good because you're landing in that place that system is already established and they're saying you have that skill.
Yes.
You do not have to wait till you get there to get that skill. Even if it's just a help desk. I know someone who left Nigeria and the first job he got was with NHIS and they use ServiceNow and it was in their support, it was a support specialist. So because he knew ServiceNow, he had gone through trainings and all of that, he helped him because he was like, oh, we're using ServiceNow. Maybe it's just incidents and all those things. It was easy for him to do his job than somebody who they have to teach, oh, this is how you save, this is how you create. You already have that skill. So I would say jump in, get that skill in your portfolio because I, for one, at the point when I started ServiceNow, I was like, what I wanted was Salesforce. In my mind, I was like, even though I learned the ServiceNow, I'm still going back to Salesforce. It was Salesforce that I wanted. Like, I just want to learn Salesforce. And then I got there and it felt like home because people were so receptive. If you random people that are in the ecosystem, you reach out to them and they're like, oh, let's hop on a call. I'm like, now so what do do for here? So so it was like people were ready to teach you. They were ready to guide you. I got into a program and they had like mentors. They were giving us mentors in the next year program. And my mentor, it's been
3, 4 years now. She still stays in touch. And it's like, girl, how are you? What are you doing? She's still mentioning your name in places like, if you need to go to certain location, I have somebody that I can refer you to. I'm like, I'm still fine for it, here for now. And you need sponsors. As women, one thing we need is sponsors, not just mentorship. A mentor can guide you, but a sponsor is somebody that if they're looking to say in your organization, who can we have to lead this project? They're mentioning your name.
True.
So you should find people that can sponsor you. I, for one, when I learned that, maybe I didn't learn it too early, but I learned that and I got myself a sponsor. She might not know she's my sponsor, but she's my sponsor when I am in DXC. Because if they're saying anything, even my manager will be like, why are you always calling to this name? Why are you always calling to this? Like, yeah, because I know Tosin will handle whatever you give to her. So you need to create that relationship. Show up. People, even when you want mentorship, come up with your own plan before you go to ask someone for mentorship. No, for the next 1 year, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to achieve. Let that person help you look at that roadmap and say, put this in, take this out. Why don't you pause this for a while? Don't just give them an open slate and be like, so what do you think I should do? There's a lot of, you also, I will say your own voice, don't drown it out. A lot of people told me in the beginning, if you don't leave Nigeria, I'm like, you just watch and see.
Yeah.
There is a lot of opportunities in Nigeria. It will come. Do you understand? And at the point I was like, I won't let, the opinion of other people drown out what my own goals are. And that goal is something you should hold on to. Whether you're taking advice, always remember that your own voice, and what do you want? Then try to tie it in. You can have stop gaps. You can decide, okay, if I cannot afford certification, let me take those courses. Let me learn about it. Let me take another job like you mentioned. Let me try to save up. But at the same time, I'm still spending maybe 4 hours a week or 3 hours a week in the now learning university, still learning, still, playing in my PDI and all those things so that I don't forget. Because sometimes if you don't play around it, you forget. Because the system is changing. There was a time, for like almost 6 months, I had not gone into a particular part of my, my PDI because everybody likes to own a PDI. It's a personal, you can break it, you can do whatever you want with it. And, there had been a release and I went in and I was looking for something because I had to do a workshop with the client. And I'm like, where is this thing? And then I go and read the release docs. I'm like, they changed this thing a few weeks ago. The name had changed. Do you understand? So they had merged it. I'm like, what are you people doing? But that is how systems work. So you have to continue to update yourself, keep yourself, updated in any way. Even in AI, I would say everyone should learn about AI. I think there's a course on data camp. There are some courses on AI for everyone. Look for those courses, even if it's just about prompt engineering. Spend 1 or 2 hours learning about it because in this day and age, my employer lets you use AI, not the one outside. There's the enterprise one. So we are using Copilot across our chats, our emails. You need to learn,
documents and everything.
And so that it helps you be more productive. They don't want you to spend all the hours looking at your data and like what's, trying to clean it, spending 7 days. No, within an hour with AI, you're able to clean up what you want to clean up. You're able to draft your emails without having to rack your brain like, what do I tell these people today? Do you understand? So learn prompt engineering. It will help you to be able to use AI to better your work, to do things faster. There are a lot of things you can do with AI. Have it, do some things while you focus on important stuff.
Thank you so much. I mean, I cannot say that enough. Thank you so much. Now, every time you speak, you make me want to ask more questions. And I'm sure this is going to be beneficial to everybody else, so I'm just going to ask. But one of the most important things I've heard you mention so far is the fact that ServiceNow is new. And that means there's so much opportunity, and this is literally the best time for anyone to get in. We have to be like the first adopters. We get to grow as it grows. We get to be able to grow, and then imagine how much the earning capacity grows as ServiceNow adoption becomes much bigger globally. Now, my question is this. It seems like you started this relatively new between 2022 till now. Is that true? That's ServiceNow specifically.
So, I started in 2019, but I got deeper into, the technical part in 2022. That was when
Okay.
I went into the next gen program.
Okay.
So I had a remote job where, as a BA, you learn about some of these tools, but you're not really into it yet. You're just on that side.
Yeah.
But because I wanted to pick it as something that, okay, this is my thing, right? So I went into that program. It was called the Next Gen back then, now called Rise Up.
Okay.
And there they teach you how to be an admin, how to be a developer. And after that program, I just thought I need to understand more, which was when I went to that company that I was working with. I mean, I had to leave my job, I had to go to there. So, and it was something I needed to do because I wanted to be better at it. I don't want to be the best developer, right? But at the same time, if I see a developer write a code, I can understand what that code is supposed to do. I can guide, right? If there's an issue, because sometimes, on projects, because my devs know I have some technical knowledge, they would get me like, oh, let's do some swarming. What do you think about this? And then we'll try to troubleshoot together. Do you understand? That was because of that knowledge I went to gain. So having that knowledge helps me, even as somebody who's now functional, because I'm, as a BPC, you're functional, you're not really doing any coding, but you're able to understand. So before somebody says, to create this flow, it would take me 2 weeks. I'm like, no, it's not going to take you 2 weeks. It's drag and drop, right? So it should take you more than 2 days, testing 3 days, right? So this helps. So that was really what I did.
Okay. I'm not going to push you any much beyond this. I'm sure if there are any more questions, people can just drop it in our WhatsApp group and then we can reach out to you. But I just want to say thank you. Can we all just give a round of applause? Can people just put thank you in the chat to just say thank you to
Thank you, everyone.
Tosin
Thank you for having
the
me.
session. I'm sure it was beneficial. I'm sure everyone learned a lot. Thank you so much. Now, okay, yes, perfect. Lots of chats coming in. So if you're feeling like this is the next step for you, if you feel like you've gotten a few things from this and you're able to make a decision from this to say, I want to go into ServiceNow, I want to see how it works, I want to see how I can make my career beneficial or how I can change career paths. This is not just an event. This is not the end of it. We have something coming up for you that would help you, sort of hold you by the hand and guide you. But one of the first things I'm going to say is this: go register on the ServiceNow University website or portal, or what is it called?
Website, yes.
Website,
It could be
yes.
anything, it's both.
So yes, go register and start taking your courses. So when we're ready, we can now say we have people who have already begun the process, people who already have some sort of idea on what ServiceNow is about, and then we can just sort of help you and guide you and provide, Tosin is here to provide the mentorship, the guidance every now and then to say, this is the next step, or you can do this. And obviously she'll be here to provide opportunities when we have people who have gone through the process. Now, the one thing that I am looking forward to is at the end of the day, at the end of all of this, that we have someone from the community, not just one person, but a couple of people who can sit down where you are today to say, I joined the Strong Women Small Boxes events some time ago, and this is me now, and this is my new career path, and this is how ServiceNow has helped me transition to this path. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll be sharing more information on the chat. For now, thank you all so much for joining. Thank you for the chat, for the conversations, and thank you once again, Tosin, for sharing.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone.
All right. So this is it. We've taken so much of everyone's time. But this is it. Thank you all so much, and we look forward to our next programs and events.
Thank you all. Bye.
Bye.